All right. Once again, we are live. It is Sunday night, 7:30-ish, which means it's time for another episode in the Man Cave. This is Polk, and we appreciate you all taking time out your schedule to rock with us tonight. We got a whole lot to discuss, unpack, and things of that nature. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to the All-State coach. What's going on with you, boss?
Happy Sunday to you, Coach.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Same to you. Same to you. All-State PG will be tapping in, tagging in shortly, but we want to go ahead and get started. Want to always be respectful of you all's time. We don't take it for granted that you all decided to spend a little time with us tonight. So we want to go ahead and jump on and get started. So, Coach, since we don't have a too much tape right now, I want to see if you got anything in your corner, Coach's corner, want to jump into it. If not, that's fine. But if you do, you got it.
Yes, sir. Just want to mention a couple things before we get started. First of all, happy birthday to JJ Adler. Coach, he would have been 16 today.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely shout out to him and his family. Continued prayers for him and his family and his teammates. Everybody that's involved that know him. Second of all, I want to say congratulations to Coach Fitzgerald. 500 wins this weekend, Coach. Man, that's an accomplishment. I want to make sure that we give Coach Fitzgerald his flowers while he's still here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can only imagine, Coach Fitzgerald's doing a great job over there at Victory, Coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But, Coach, it's playoff time, Coach. Finally, the real season is here, sir. The real season is here.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to all girls teams. You know what I'm saying? Some people are continuing on. Some people are not. Coach, boys going to district play this week. So what is the mindset for coaches going into district play this week? What should they be focused on?
Survive and move on. No matter how it looks, no matter how it spins, at the end of the day, we got to score one more point than who we line up against. And we have to hope. We have to hope and pray and cross fingers and toes and whatever else you do for luck or for blessings or whatever you call it. That all this stuff that we've been doing since, when did you start, Coach? When you started in August? If you did it right, or did you ever stop? I don't know. If you ever stopped to start all the stuff that you've been doing, all the plyos, all the conditioning, all of the screaming and yelling, all of the suicides, the man making, whatever you call them, all that stuff has to line up and connect this week because, and we're gonna talk about it in a minute. With the girls, Coach, this thing done changed a whole lot from what we are used to. It's a whole new ball game. So you gotta hope that if you have been great all year, that now you don't get complacent, you don't get satisfied. For a team like say a team like Winter Haven, a team like Victory, who's been playing people all year and been successful. You got to hope that you don't get complacent because you've been successful for the most part. You have to play at your level and not to the level of your competition. And because, Coach, you guys, you and your ladies in the same kind of boat. You got to make sure you play at your level. You got to establish what your level is, and that's what you got to kind of compare yourself to, not to who you're playing, because you play to the level of your competition, and it very easily could be shirts to the left, shorts to the right. For the guys, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday night, and for the young ladies on Thursday night. So that would be my thing. What got you there? Don't get comfortable. Don't get complacent. That we've had a great regular season, because like you said, at this point now everybody's 0-0. Mm-hmm. That stuff don't matter. It don't matter. All it take you is 8 quarters. Even if I'm a 6 seed, Coach, if I play 8 quarters, I got a shot.
You got a shot, Coach.
And so that's if I'm a 6 or a 7 or a 5 seed, that's what I'm selling to my kids. Like, hey man, I know we was 5-20 or 8-21 or whatever 8 up to 25, but all we gotta do is be good for 4 quarters on Tuesday, and then we gotta be good for 4 quarters on, I guess, Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what district you're in. and we got a shot. So who says that Winter Haven or with Victory or Lakeland or Bartow, who says they have a better chance to make it than us? We got just as much shot as they do. That's the beauty of basketball as opposed to football. No matter how horrible your regular season is, everybody got a shot. Everybody got a new season. Everybody got a chance. You got now whether it comes to fruition or not, that's one thing. But everybody has a shot, and that's the beauty of high school basketball as opposed to high school football.
Coach, I think you hit it right on the head. Everybody got a shot. So therefore, going into this week, you have an opportunity to make the playoffs. So everything was a dress rehearsal until now. Straight dress rehearsal. We're practicing for this moment right now. As a coach, I'm taking the mindset is keeping my kids sharp, keeping them focused, keeping them locked in, and just try to make them play at a high level. Like you said, you can't go down to your competition, but at the same time, you probably can motivate them to play, higher than what their actual skill level is at. You know what I'm saying? Or have them come together, and then that bonding makes them play up to their competition. Just because of that competitive nature. You know what I'm saying? And then as a coach, ain't no holding nothing back. Coach, you can't just keep it in your bag, just in case or whatever. You got to let it go. So like you said, win or go home, shorts to the right, shirts to the left. If you're in that position where the only way I make the playoffs is winning the district tournament, you can't hold back. You got to be able to make adjustments on the fly, on the run right now. And your kids are depending on that.
And so you got a team, and you got to be able to turn the page quick because, we'll talk about the Mosaic in a minute, but we had a lot of teams playing the Mosaic this weekend, and we had I thought we competed probably the best we competed in the Mosaic in a long time, but we didn't win as many games. We was in position. We lost some games down the stretch that we probably shouldn't have lost. And me, I'm always saying we, and I'm saying Polk County. So now, how quick do you turn that page? Like, what did we do to get the lead? And more importantly, what did we do to lose the lead that we can't do next week? We can't do that. Well, I guess it's this week. We can't do it Tuesday night or Wednesday night or whenever your district is, because if we do, man, all this work that we done did will be for naught. It'll be a waste.
And as a coach, what decision or what situation would I have done differently? It so happened something showed up in my Facebook memories the other day when we lost against Mount Verde, by 3 at the buzzer. You know what I'm saying? And I just started going back, like, what would I have done differently to help, my team put them in a better position? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're there for, coach, to put them in a position to be successful. But I think after watching the girls' live show today, it's going to be interesting this week on how things fall in place. But definitely good luck to all boys team in the district tournament this week.
And Coach, that's the thing. Like you just said, you mentioned when you missed your reflection. Your Facebook memories cause you to reflect. It calls you to remember. It calls you to think back on when things were great and good, But it also causes you to be like, shoulda, woulda, coulda. So you reflect back on Montverde when you all lost a game that you felt like you should have got. So how much does that help you? I guess, first of all, you got to actually kind of be a little humble. And that is something that Polk County coaches, not all, but some, I think and I keep saying we struggle with humility to the point where we can look at ourselves to see, okay, this didn't work. What can we do to get better, as opposed to assigning, I don't say blame, but there's a reason why it didn't work, as opposed to looking at within, like, okay, what could I have done as the coach of this team, as the leader of this program, driving this bus, to get it there, as opposed to, oh, if this would happen, they did this, or they did this, or they did that. So the fact that you even look within before you start looking, without or looking outward, that is something that a lot of us, and I'm saying us as coaches, we struggle with. So that's another thing is, can you look at things that have worked for you, things that haven't worked for you, and try to sift through what can I use to help me in this new season, and what can I trash in this new season to make sure that we get to the third season. Because this is the second season. So the third season, you got to get the second season to get to the third season. And I just don't know if a lot of our coaches in Polk County look at it that way, Coach. Like, we don't look within first. We just always look outward. And that, some cases, can bite you in the butt. What's going on, Coach Horace? What's going on with your boss, man? All right, can't complain. We just trying to make it. God blessed us to be here, so we appreciate it. We ain't going to take it for granted. Appreciate you rocking with us and supporting us as always, man. It's a big, big honor for you to, always check in with us. Anyway, Coach, that's my take on it. So how quick do you do that, Coach? How quick do you take ownership, take accountability? And because the thing what you don't want to do as a coach, in my opinion, you don't want to be the reason why your team doesn't move on. Now, if we just line up on a team that's just better than us, no matter what we did, they just was better, then you can sleep with that. But the fact, if you feel like it was something you could have did as a coach, and you didn't do that for your kids or for your program, that's the one that kind of love you too, Horace, man. Love you, man. Men don't say they love you enough, so love you, bro. Love you. Hope you're safe, man. I don't mind saying it. It's definitely in my new season, I don't. Coach, we gotta say it, Coach. We don't say it enough. We men, we prideful. We feel like we don't, that's stuff that we can't say. But that's one of my guys. So one of my guys gonna always be there. I always look out for my guys.
Coach, in the comments, somebody asked, what team you think will fold. My thing is, this Polk County, Coach. Anything can happen. Like, anything can happen. Like, like last year, like, who predicted that what happened in 6A last year? McGriff hit a hot spot. Next thing you know, he's winning the district tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, we thought Lakeland Winter Haven was going to be that district champion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then Kathleen ended up in the playoffs because of a win, in the district playoffs by some other team, which increased their strength of schedule. And then what Kathleen ended up doing? Beating Bartow in the first round of the playoff. Coach, anything can happen.
Coach was a layup that the RJ Kelly kid has made since third grade, a layup that he missed against Lakeland from being in the regional finals, Coach. So like you say, and Kathleen, like you say, they done jumped to number 3 in their district, which we'll talk about in a minute. They jumped to 3 in their district. So yeah, like you say, Coach, just all these great records.
Yeah,
all these great record seasons.
Don't know this.
That stuff don't mean nothing, Coach. Everybody can get it at this point. So that's the beauty and the excitement that the playoffs bring. I'm listening to the girls this afternoon, me and you both, and I'm just so like impressed with Florida. I want to get an FHSAA, kind of a shout out that they dropped the brackets, kind of like a March Madness type feel. So you on there like trying to figure out where you going and who you playing. That was great. I don't know if they ever did that. I was so hyped for the girls, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. When we got seven girls teams in, that was so it's like you build an excitement that we haven't had with basketball. You always got excitement with football. That's we're football state, but we haven't had this type of energy for basketball, girls and boys, in a while, in my opinion. Even the last 2 days in the Mosaic, how we competed. Like I said, we didn't do as well as we wanted to do. Because we compete, we didn't just come out there. We didn't just get drugged like we had been in the past years. We competed and had a shot to win most of the games that we end up not winning. So it's a great time of year, and I just love how they did the brackets for the FHSA. So I'm excited for the girls this week, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, and then the boys next. We got the district over with, but like you say, Coach, it's just a great time of year, and I just hope that coaches put themselves in a position and their teams in a position to be successful. Because at the end of the day, the worst feeling you can have, coach, you don't have it at least once in your career. Any coach who's been honest with himself had at least one in their year where they woke up next morning like, man, I let my guys down. If I could have did this, or you second guessing or third guessing, I know third guess not a thing, but you just don't want to be in a position where you wake up that next morning second guessing or third guess. You want to just be like, hey man, I gave all I had. We gave them all we had. They just was better than us, and my hats off to them. I'm gonna be first in line to shake their hand. But you just don't want to be like, man, if I could have did this. I remember when they went to this zone and we didn't run this zone offense that we got, coach. You know what I'm talking about, coach. Or man, we could have trapped, we could have went press out this zone. They took the kid out of the game because he had 3 fouls and she had 3 fouls, and we didn't press them, but we could have. It's like you don't want to be doing that. That's what's gonna drive you crazy. You just want to be like, man, I threw everything at them, bro. I threw the +1 at them. We trapped them, we pressed them, man. We went to 3-4 things that they hadn't seen on film, and they just beat us. And you can be okay with that, but the other stuff you can't be okay with.
You said wake up the next morning and feel that way. How about not even going to sleep because you're tossing and turning, trying to?
Yeah.
You just, coach. I used to try to sleep, couldn't sleep. Now wake up. Now I'm up watching film all night long. That's how bad it bothers you, coach.
That's the tough. That's the tough that you don't want. And like you said, if they just better than us, hey man, y'all just better. Girls, guys, whatever. You just better team. You can be okay with that. You can sit in that locker room. The worst thing you can feel, coach, is having that conversation with your girls or your guys after the game, and you know it was something that you could have did that you didn't do. Now, you just like, hey, man, bro, they just hitting shots. They hit 10, 12 threes. They was out of transition. We couldn't break their press. You can be like, hey, we just didn't have it. We missed 10, 12 free throws. We lost by 4 or 5. You can live with that. You're going to be mad about it, but you can live with that. But, boy, well, you be like, hey, man, we've been working on this trap all week, and then we ain't run it. We ain't even see if they can handle it or not, you know? So, but anyway, man, so coach, that's the thing. So hopefully coaches, and it starts, like you said, it starts with the coaches now, because the girls and the guys are going to go where the coaches lead them at. So it starts with the young men and the women that are leading these programs. But I actually feel, and I'm biased, and I make no mistake about it, I'm insanely biased when it comes to Polk County, especially the regular season and definitely not playoffs. I'm like biased with no apologies. I feel like we got 7 girls teams in. We'll know next week how many boys team we got in. I feel like we are in real good shape on the girls side with the people that we got leading teams. Like I say, I'm biased. I don't make no mistake for it, and I don't apologize for it. But I feel like we're in good shape. But having said that, the week that was, we're gonna start off with Tuesday night. Tuesday night, we were in Winter Haven, OCP at Winter Haven. First game that was kind of like a movie. We had OCP coming in with all the accolades, state championships, you know, big-time ball players. Winter Haven been battle tested all year long, been playing top people all year. Winter Haven ended up coming out with the win at the house. Real big win, great atmosphere. Real happy that people came out to support the guys. Shout out to Coach Woodside, Coach Reddick, and Coach Phillips. What's your take on that one first, Coach?
Coach, great game at the end of the year. Great competition. I think I have to send a shout out to Coach Woodside for him having his kids ready for those type of situations. You know, they were down 2 in regulation, Coach, and they had to run a set, you know, in order for them to take it in overtime. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take those situations lightly. If your kids are not ready or you are not ready as a coach to get them in the right position, you know, sometimes people lose that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had his kids prepared. The kids are battle tested. You know, personally, I thought at home they would have had a bigger advantage. But, you know, OCP is a proven program. They're not going to come and lay down for nobody. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great game, great atmosphere. And like I said, shout out to Coach Woodside, you know, in order to pull that game out.
Yeah. That was a great And Winter Haven had a great week. That was just game one. They set up the schedule where they had OCP on Tuesday. They had the Rock on Friday, which they ended up playing at Polk State because the girls, Winter Haven girls, was at home. And then they played Tampa Calic on Saturday. So great week for the Blue Devils. So next we're gonna move on to girls districts. Talk about girls districts. Want to say first of all, congratulations to our two district champions. Winter Haven girls, Winter Haven Lady Blue Devils won their district against Durant in convincing fashion. And then we also had Lake Gibson that went on the road and knocked off St. Cloud also in convincing fashion. So congratulations to both of those young ladies for winning their district championships. Once again, we're Polk Hoops, and we primarily deal with boys, but we also deal with girls too. We know that Polk County girls basketball is dealing a lot with girls, so we're not trying to step on anybody's toes, but we're about Polk County basketball, period. So we don't differentiate between girls and boys. So no disrespect to Polk County girls basketball, but we're gonna speak on the girls right now for a little bit.
But also, just to let people know, we have a great relationship with that page, so we kind of coincide on what we do in order to promote these kids. But my thing is, Coach, shout out to Coach Red and her staff, Coach. Like their record was not sexy this year at all. But if you look at the teams that they played some really tough teams.
Some tough people.
Played some tough teams. They went through some trials and tribulations early. I think they're coming together at the right time. Then to go to St. Cloud, beat them on their floor in the district championship, Coach, I think that's impressive. And looking at the region, Coach, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, Coach.
They got a good shot, Coach.
Don't be surprised, Coach.
But Coach, I want you to, because you was on this live when we was listening to it, and I want you to explain to people before they get mad, before we post and Polk County girls basketball also post the standings and how it went. Because it's gonna be the same thing for boys next week, but we're talking about girls right now. Can you explain how the FHSA is doing things this year, which a lot of people probably don't know about? So, we're about information here at Polk Hoops, so kind of get people some information.
Coach, is very interesting this year. Very, very, very. And we just found this out today at 2:00. So the 4 district winners automatically get in. With that being said, they rank the top 8, 1 to 8, with the 4 district winners in there. All right. You could be a district winner and be a 1 seed in the region. You can be a district winner and be an 8th seed in the region, according to your ranking. So the 4 district winners don't automatically get the 4 top spots. Also, with that being said, if you're an at-large member, meaning you didn't win your district, and you play against a district winner, you have to travel to that district winner. So I can be a 1 seed, and this happened today. The 1 seed in the region has to travel to the 8th seed because that 8th seed was a district winner in their particular district. Like, Coach, like, how does that happen? Like, I'm upset. I'm the number 1 team in the region, Coach, and I gotta travel my first game out the gate.
Coach, I didn't mean to take you off your topic. I saw it. Coach Shed jumped in the comments. He's a Carolina guy, and I wasn't gonna say nothing about Duke, Carolina. He did, so I'm not. But anyway, so now we have totally changed and redid the whole mindset that we've had with the brackets. So let us. I know Polk County girls basketball kind of put the bracket. I don't know if they put the bracket, they put who made it, but let's just kind of go over the brackets right now. Let's go over the brackets right now for the girls. Okay, and these games will all be on Thursday, February the 9th. February the 9th. Okay, so in 7A, we have Winter Haven, who is the 1 seed, so they will host Tampa Sickles, who is the 8th seed. If I'm wrong, Coach, straighten me, okay? 6A, even though Lake Gibson won the district, Lake Gibson is considered a 6th seed. But since they are a district champ, they will host the 3 seed, which is St. Cloud, in a rematch of the district championship game they just played on Friday. So even though Lake Gibson is a 6 seed, since they won the district, they will host that game on Thursday night at Lake Gibson High School. Okay, 5A, we have the 5 seed Lake Region, who will travel to Lake Wales, who is the 4 seed. So Lake Wales is the 5 seed. They will go to Lake Region is the 5 seed. They will go to Lake Wales, who is the 4 seed. In another 5A region, we have Sebring girls, who is a 6 seed. They will travel to Paris, who is a 3 seed. 4A, we have St. Pete Gibbs, who will host the 6 seed Avon Park. And then lastly, we have 3A, not 3 seed, 3A. We have a 3 seed Bishop Moore, who will host the 6 seed Discovery. So we got 6 girls teams that made it to the playoffs. We got Winter Haven as a 1 seed. We got Lake Gibson as a 6 seed. We got Lake Region as a 5. Lake Wells a 4. Sebring a 6. Avon Park a 6. Discovery a 6. Coach, what's your take? I know you are kind of more connected to girls. So what's your take on what you heard and what you think and what's up?
Coach, I'm excited. We actually got 7 teams in. I was 7. For the areas that we covered. Coach, I'm excited because I really didn't expect that many people to get in. So shout out to those programs and those coaches for putting in that work in order to put themselves here. But at this point, Coach, I'm gonna just let them know, it's really no holding back. You know what I'm saying? Coaches, be prepared, mentally, watch film, get your team better, have a game plan, have a second game plan, and get these kids ready because it's win or go home now. It's win or go home, and good luck to all the coaches and all the players that made the girls' playoff. Unfortunately, Lake Wells and Lake Region have to play each other.
That's tough.
That's tough.
That's tough.
But the other teams, I know Discovery just played Bishop Moore, so I'm pretty sure Coach Jameson he should have film. He should be going back and seeing where they were lacking and have them better prepared this time on this go around. Lake Gibson, Coach, you went on their home floor and beat them. Now they got to come to you. Like you was talking about complacency, just because you just beat them. When was that, Friday?
Right.
It doesn't mean this is a whole different ball game. So I'm pretty sure Coach will have those kids ready. But they're in a great position, in order to make a run. But Avon Park has been tough all year. Sebring, we haven't really talked about, but that's a good job for them and their program getting in.
So, not to give away any of your company trade secrets, but you're on the girls' side of things now, and none of these girls' teams will have you won't have to see them, so you don't got to worry about them. And once the regular season's over with, we all Polk County. That's what we stand on. So if it's one or two things, and I think you kind of said a couple of them already, 1 or 2 tidbits of advice from a state champion coach, although it's on the boys' side, but you still have one state. What was one thing you would advise? Because all you can do about it is worry about Thursday. You can't worry about next Tuesday or next Friday. I can do it about Thursday. What would be one thing or 2 things advice you would give to the young ladies, whether they receive it or not? If you feel like not giving it to them, that's fine. What's one piece of advice, if you haven't already given it, that you would give them to make sure that they're in the best place they can be for Thursday to get a win, so we can move to the finals or the semis, because it's quarters on Thursday, to the semis with 7 teams like we started with on Thursday.
Coach, right now it's about sacrifice, Coach. You all locked into Thursday. Don't do anything that's going to take away from your team chances in winning. They need everybody. They need everybody from the coach down to the manager, Coach. You know what I'm saying? You don't need any distractions. Get your body ready. You know what I'm saying? You should have been in the gym this weekend and getting up shots, dribbling drills or whatever. You got to be locked in all week. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got to be healthy. Everybody got to be mentally ready. You don't do anything in school that might jeopardize you playing. don't do anything at home that might jeopardize you playing. I don't know if you remember last year, Coach, Winter Haven played Wakava in the playoffs for boys. Me and the Wakava coach are a real coaching family, so I know him really well. His best top scorer didn't play because he got in trouble at home, and the parents like he's not playing. You know what I'm saying? So the best ability is availability, Coach, and you got to be there. Locked in, loaded, ready to go, ready to give everything that you have. Leave it on the floor, no matter what. Just leave it on the floor.
I like that. I like availability. You said availability is accountability.
It's your best ability, Coach. If
Yeah,
you're
I
not
like
available,
that. I like that, Coach. Yeah, you can't. You drop the what they call it, gym. You drop the gym just in, Coach. Yeah, Mike. We gotta do something with that. That's a gym now. Your availability, your accountability is your availability. Man, woo, that was tough, Coach. What we gotta do? We gotta do five in the comments. We gotta do the five emoji in the comment. Oh man, here we go about LeBron. We're trying to keep this locally Polk County High School. It's always LeBron or Carolina reference. But anyway, we understand that. So, Coach, hopefully you all, the thing about the coach, that was just some great advice. I just hope that we are in a position to receive it because, sometimes we're not in a position to receive great advice. And I just had a conversation with somebody earlier today in the chat. They was kind of questioning essentially the integrity of Polk Hoops. I guess me or Polk Hoops as overall. Man, we don't care about that stuff. Wherever we can get gems from, where we can get great stuff from, man, we taking it. So hopefully you coaches, you girls, ladies coaches that are coaching, and even boys, because y'all coaching this week too. Hopefully you all can take some from that and don't get caught up in who is giving where the information is coming from. If it's good information, if it's good content, if it's good stuff, take the good stuff, man, and just take it. I mean, we learned this in education. Good teachers, good administrators, good educators steal. Why am I going to sit here and try to figure out something if you're doing something in your classroom or your school that is working great? Man, I'm going to do the same thing. What we talking? We trying to help kids. So coach trying to help kids. He trying to help you to help kids. Hit what he just told you ain't going to have no impact on Winter Haven girls basketball, and they can help you to get to the next round. And if it's good, why wouldn't you use it? Because it's Billy D, because of Coach Washington, I ain't going to take it. Man, but anyway, that's me on my soapbox. Coach Prince said he going to take it. Coach, if I was coaching still, Coach Harris, I would take it too. I'd be in my locker room tomorrow and say, hey, look, man, I need y'all to be here. I need you to be available, and your ability can't show if you're not available. So you, Coach Harris, don't have no problem with using good stuff. That was good stuff, Coach. So we gonna make sure we give props when it's due. That was good stuff. But anyway, so as we move on, so that's the girls. So congrats to those 7 girls. We will post those brackets tomorrow on the page so that you guys will know. If you want to support these young ladies, please do so. That all those games are on Thursday, and they all start at 7 p.m. Everybody use that GoFan page, right? All right, I'm muting PG trying to figure it out. Mike, hey man, you had your successful show, man, and you get bigger than the program, man. We understand it though. We appreciate it the time he can give us though. But yeah, man. So if you are a girls coach that's lined up on Thursday at 7 p.m., tickets on GoFan, the GoFan page. Like I said, we're gonna post it on Polk Hoops. But we also want to make sure that we give a major shout out to Polk County girls basketball because they're doing a great job on their page. So we're definitely not trying to step on nobody's toes. We're not in competition with nobody. We're just trying to help promote Polk County basketball, girls and boys, as much as possible because we know that it had not been done. And so that's all we're about. So we don't care where the recognition come from. And we definitely not in no competition with nobody. So we're gonna post it on our page, but we know they posting on their page and they're doing a great job with it. But we want to make sure we give it some energy also. All right. So moving on to the mosaic. That was this What's going on, Juice, man? I know you're ready for the 11 through 25 for the Rankings this week. I know that's what you just tapped in for. We got it coming. We got 11 to 25 coming for you. I know that's why that's the only reason that you're here right now. But anyway, Coach Sanders, no problem at all. Like I said, we do what we can. But like I said, we definitely not in no competition with nobody. So we're going to give credit where credit due. Polk County girls basketball is doing an outstanding job. But we definitely want to make sure that we spotlight the girls too, because the boys hadn't been spotlighted. But just think about the girls. The boys ain't been spotlighted, nearly as much as they should. But the girls is like 10 times that. So we want to, if we can help Polk County girls basketball and anybody to help get the young ladies, some more exposure, some more credit, some more spotlight, and that's what we're here to do. That's all what we're about. We try to help as many kids as possible, as many programs as possible, and we are insanely pro Polk County bias with how we rock and move. So, anywho, the week that was the Mosaic. Coach, last week, man, you picked some games. Coach, you went 11-3. I went 10-4. So you won the week that was. The one game you picked Newsom and I picked Santa Fe. You picked Olympia. I picked Victory. We both picked Lakeland, and we both lost that one. You picked Lake Wells. I picked Leesburg, and that was the deciding game that in the week that was. So you won the week 11-3. You beat me by one game. So, but the Mosaic, like I said, we end up losing Polk County. We losing 5-7 to the state. But Coach, I don't know about you, but even though we lost for the overall, record, I was very impressed by the fact that, Coach, there's about 3 or 4 of them games that we was leading. We was winning in the fourth quarter, deep in the fourth, and we end up losing. So it's not like we just lined up and people just drug us. We just didn't finish down the stretch. So overall, I mean, you don't get no concession. You don't get no consolation for losing. But I thought we've competed very well. I thought Coach McGriff did a great job with how he scheduled the games for his competition level. And overall, I thought it was a great event. What's your thoughts, Coach?
I mean, Coach, you talking about those 3 or 4 games. You talking about one possession games. 1 point game, 3 point games. I know for one of them winning overtime for sure.
There's a couple, yes, a couple.
Couple of them winning overtime, but I know one winning overtime for sure. So you talking about great competition, putting yourself in great pressure situations, and putting yourself in a position to win the game. The ball probably didn't bounce your way, but I think Coach McGriff did a hell of a job putting these matchups together. Polk County went out and competed. They went out and competed. Some of them didn't, they fell short, but at the same time, those coaches should take those situations, getting back into the lab, getting back into the gym, and be ready for this week to make sure that doesn't happen again. You got to learn lessons from those.
So, what was your most impressive or your biggest takeaway from this weekend, and what was your biggest disappointment? You may not want to talk about disappointment, but what was you most impressed with this weekend?
Coach, I think the most impressed I was with Lakeland. And I'm saying that from a standpoint, hearing conversations on the outside, some people thought OCP was really going to beat them like by double digits. And Coach Hen, always confident. He always have his team ready. They went in, they were down early. They went in, fought to get in overtime, and they had a chance to win, Coach. I think those situations are going to prepare Lakeland for the postseason. Those tough games that way. So even though that they lost, but I think they gained more from that game, and I think it's going to help propel them into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's my biggest takeaway as far as, a positive. A negative, Coach, I really don't have much because, like I said, nobody really went in there and just laid down. You know what I'm saying? Everybody fought, the good fight. So it's encouraging because last year, we getting picked at talking about Orlando teams just laying hands on us. Coach Shea, that's what you told us. You was right. You know what I'm saying? But this year it's different, coach. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to those coaches and to those teams coming in and letting us know that Polk County's in a good place.
And that was my thing. Because like you said, we didn't lay down. Obviously, we wanted to win more than we lost. But I mean, if we go through it, game 1 we won. Discovery beat Clearwater. Game 2 we won. Jenkins beat Port Charlotte. Game 3 we lost. Bartow lost to Windermere. Game 4 we lost. Lakeland lost to OCP in overtime. Game 5 we lost. Kathleen lost to OCP. I'm not OCP. Dr. Phillips game that they had won. They was winning the whole game. Next game we won in overtime. Lake Wales beat Leesburg. Rosado went crazy, like he's been doing since he's been back. Then we lost the Sebring game to Plant City. I think that was in overtime. That was a close game. Then we lost to the next game was Santa Fe Newsom. Santa Fe lost a game. They was winning the whole game. So it was a close game. I think they lost by like 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. And then Arbondale lost to Miami Norland. Again, they was winning for 3.5 quarters. They ended up, couldn't hold on at the end. Bartow lost to Berkeley Prep by 1 point, like 49-48. Victory knocked off Olympia. Olympia lost 2 games in the state of Florida all year, both on the Polk County team, the Winter Haven and Victory. And then the nightcap Victory, Winter Haven knocked off Tampa Catholic with a Carter Knox. They had Carter Knox like 9 points. So
Victory Jizzle only had like 12.
And Jizzle and Victory held Jizzle to 12. So 2 of the top players in the entire state, our county held them to way below what they normally do. So, and like I say, we in Polk County, so we don't take no pride and we don't take consolation victories. So we're not saying we happy that we competed. It's not Kelly Rick. Nothing against Kelly Rick. There's nothing Kelly Rick. Like we just happy to be out there. We expect to go out there and win because that's what we do at Polk County. But having said that, man, we accounted for ourselves very well. And I know the coaches don't want to hear that because they lost. So no coach want to hear, okay, attaboy, great job, we lost. No, we lost, and that's just it. But you got to be encouraged, like you say, Coach. You got to be encouraged by how we competed. Even though we lost, you got to be encouraged. And I know, like I said, coaches, that's y'all out there listeing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make no excuses for a loss. You lost, and I've been a coach and coach right here. Nobody make an excuse for a loss. But, man, we competed, man. You got to feel good about how we competed this year compared to other years.
One last thing, Coach. Also up there with Lakeland, Victory going in and beating Olympia lets me know that gap has closed between them and OCP. Like, I feel better about their chances now if they meet in the regional playoffs now. I really confident that Coach Fitzgerald and his team can actually make it to the state finals.
Coach, you gotta love, and we said it a couple weeks ago, Coach, like if they don't win, it ain't cause Coach Fitzgerald ain't lining people up to play. Like when they play OCP, they're gonna be like, man, oh my God, these some athletes, these some guys. Nah, this is gonna be like, okay, this is just the next group of athletes we don't play because we've been playing people all year. They've been Winter Haven both because they've been lining people up all year. And I don't know if that's Coach Fitzgerald and Coach Woodside's goal to line up people to be in that position, but they definitely have done it. So if and when they run up on these people, it won't be a shell shock type of thing. And I really like, and once again, I'm insanely biased to Polk County, but I really like Victory. Of course, we like Winter Haven getting out the region, but I really like Victory line up against OCP. Just not off what Victory, not off what OCP did against Winter Haven and Lakeland, but just off what Victory has done, especially what they did against Olympia on Saturday night. So I definitely like them at all. Coach Sessom, I didn't see it about any scouts. I know they were there. I know they come. I know they fly. That they come in and check the games out. So I know they was there. I didn't see them, but I know they was there. So, but once again, shout out to Polk County, man. Like I said, we finished 5-7. I think that's probably the best finish we done had in a couple of years. 5-7, and I know that we didn't win. We didn't win the county. We didn't win it, but man, we definitely was there. We definitely gave ourselves plenty of opportunities to be in a good shot, in a good shape. I know coaches are sick right now because they couldn't finish the deal. They didn't finish the deal. But man, if y'all can build on what you did and how the kids competed all weekend, Friday and Saturday night, and I was just so proud of the county. And once again, I'm just speaking for me. I know I'm speaking for coaching and the PG too. We are insanely Polk County biased. So I'm very impressed with how we went out there and competed both nights. So, all right, that was the mosaic. So before we go into the boys top 10 in the PTPs, want to just this is a thing that kind of dropped, I think, last week. And we didn't talk about it last week, but just from a college perspective, as far as college athletes that are looking to move into the next level, the NCAA college admission from 2023 and beyond, they have took away the test. So the test is not a part of your college admittance. It's just your core, which has to be 2.3, and it's then just 14 core classes. So that is major for all athletes. So they have essentially all these years that the test has been, handcuffing kids. The kids couldn't get into school because they couldn't pass the test, whatever the case may be. The test is a thing of the past. So there is no test moving forward. It's just your core GPA, and it's just your core GPA and your core classes, your 14 core. Now you can't be trying to throw in, underwater basket weaving and shoelace tying 3.0. That can't factor in. It got to be, English 1, English 2, English 3, English 4. It's got to be, Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2 for you academic people. It's got to be, your social studies, got to be your science, your life science, your physical science, that kind of stuff. Won't get too educational or academic for some of you guys, but the big deal is that the test is, because we got some academias in the chats, which we appreciate, because we appreciate intellectual and stimulating conversation. So we consider ourselves to be pretty academic, pretty accomplished academic guys. So we always encourage and appreciate that when we get that type of energy back in the chat, not just people just shooting from the hip. But anyway, so shout out to the class of 2023 and beyond. That was a real big thing. So still got to pass the FSA. Still got to pass the FSA in Florida. That you're taking 10th grade. Coach Smith just jumped in. But having said that, you don't have to pass the ACT or SAT. You got to pass the FSA. And in your grade in 10th grade, or by the time you graduate, and you also got to have that GPA 2.3 core, not 2.3 overall. The students understand that is a difference between 2.3 overall and 2.3 core, because 2.3 overall could be shoelace tying 101, could be clay building, could be Lego land 101, but I'm sorry. But academic wise, it got to be your core. It got to be the English 1, 2, 3, 4. It got to be the 3 maths. Got to be the 3 science. Got to be the 3 social studies. So as you guys get ready, as you're planning, if you're a 2023 kid, yeah, Coach, hide and seek. Coach, you be surprised what courses they come up with when they're trying to get them eligible. Speaking from experience, they get very creative in that guidance office. But anyway, they gotta line up for the clearinghouse, got to line up for the next level. But taking that test away is very big, because we've had some kids that have been very high academic kids that just couldn't pass the test because kids just don't test well. But that's the thing of the past. So I want to make sure we pass that along.
Coach, let me piggyback on that.
Yes, sir.
student athletes and parents, that doesn't mean that they don't take the test. All right, so the 10th grade, the people that are in 11th and 12th grade right now still have to pass the FSA, as Coach Hen said earlier. Um, Also, it's changing to the FAST test, FAST. But you can still take the SAT and ACT to substitute that test in order to graduate. So please don't go out thinking like, oh, I don't have to take it anymore. They may need it to supplement that state test in order for them to qualify to graduate. So please, you know, don't think that you don't have to take the test, which if they don't need it, they pass it in 10th grade, that's fine. If they get in, juniors and seniors and they still haven't passed their standardized test for the state in order to graduate, they still need to take the ACT and SAT.
All right, coach. So in that area. So if you are a coach, are you advising your kids to still take the ACT and SAT?
Yes. I encourage mine to take it early, no later than the end of the 10th grade year. I had parents that was very involved. I took it as a ninth grader just to see where I was at. And a great thing happened. I was basically qualified for my ninth grade test. You know what I'm saying? But I continued to take it in order to improve my score. But if you're aspiring to go to college, also you're still gonna have to take those tests and do well on them. So don't take it as we're saying not to take the test. That's not what we're saying. You still need to take that test, compete for scholarships, college entrance, and things of that nature.
We're saying that it's not a requirement. We're not saying not to take it. Like Coach Lewis is saying, and most of the academia in the chat is saying, please still take it because it can supplement the FSA. And the reality is that some kids are just not good test takers. I mean, you can be a great student, great academic student, be making A's and B's, high GPA. You just not be a great test taker. That happens. And so you want to give yourself every chance that you can have to be successful. So if that means that you take the SAT and the SAT, please do so, because our other thing is there's money out there. So it's just because, let's just say you are privileged or blessed enough to get a scholarship. You pass the ACT or SAT, you don't get like excluded from scholarship money just because you have a athletic scholarship. You can still earn academic scholarship money, and that money goes in your pocket. And as opposed to when I used to be, the principal at collegiate, I used to tell my kids, look, y'all with me for 2 years and y'all not paying for anything, but somebody is paying for it. I'm paying for it, out of my budget. Your job in these 2 years is to make sure that when you leave me, that somebody else is still paying for you to go to school. And so don't take it for granted. These people it's plenty of money these people giving away out here, but a lot of times we miss out on it because we just want to apply for it. It's just sitting there. And when we don't get it, it goes back in the pot. So don't limit yourself. The best thing you can have is you be on somebody's college campus to you students. And if you want to go get your outfit from the mall, if you want to go hang out, you ain't got to call mom or dad. And, I'm dealing with that now because I got kids in college. And they got to call and ask you for money. If you got your own money from refund checks or whatever the case may be, scholarship money, that's a whole different conversation than having to call and ask for money. So we're not saying not to take the test. We're just saying that now you don't have to use it to get in college, but you sure can use it for like scholarship money and just to give yourself, make sure that you have all your bases covered. So it doesn't help you to to take it, because ain't nothing like when that net check hit and it got your name on it. It ain't got your mama name on it, your daddy, your aunt, your grandma. It got your name on it. Your bills paid, your room and board paid, and you get that net check. Man, it's a whole different conversation. So don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself, because what you got to lose? You don't have nothing to lose by going and taking the test. You ain't got nothing to lose at all. So make that money. They giving it away. So make sure you put.
And most of you guys apply for. You can get a waiver for the test, so you can take the test for free anyway.
He taking it for free. So what you losing? It's just a couple hours out your Saturday morning. What you losing? Ain't nothing you losing at all. So, and some schools, some schools still kind of want that test, but for the most part, the NCAA as a whole has done away with that being a part of your admission process. So, we just wanted to make sure that we, brought that to light here at Polk Hoops, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we helping all kids, and if sometimes helping you just give you the information. Now, what you do with the information, that's on you, but at least you have it to decide. Between you as a student athlete and between you as your parent or your coaches, y'all decide how y'all want to use it. But at least, we trying to give you the information, okay? All right. So moving on to the primetime performers for last week. We had a lot of them. We had a lot of great performances last week, so we want to make sure that we spotlight and acknowledge all of them. First, couple girls' performances from Jordan Christian Prep. We had, and I say your name wrong, ladies or gentlemen, I do apologize. So just say that ahead of time. Amelia Williams had 37 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 steals, triple-double. Socoria Henderson from Jordan Christian Prep, 35 points, 10 assists, 10 steals. Jason Williams from Bartow, 18 points versus Windermere. Serenity Hardy in the district championship game had 26 points against Durant. Also in the district championship, we had Breasia Washington with 22 points against Durant. And the Mosaic, we had Angel Canellis, and if I said your name wrong, sir, I apologize, had 20 against Clearwater. Willie Wilson also had 19 against Clearwater. Sebastian Rosado had the highest points at least for Polk County. I didn't even check the rest of everybody else because, like I say, I don't care about everybody else, and I'm no disrespect, but I'm pro Polk County. As far as Polk County performers, Rosado had the highest score for the county for the weekend, and Mosaic had 32, and the win against Leesburg. LJ against Victory had 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists against Olympia. Jeremy Russell had a great week for Kathleen. He had 23, 11, and 10 on senior night against Sebring. Had 30 points, 5 rebounds, 5 steals against Lake Gibson. And he had 19 in the loss to Dr. Phillips. Chris German had 30 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 assists. All Saints versus 4 corners. We had a freshman from Oasis, Landon Gall, had a triple-double, 11 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. Tate Darner from Victory had 20 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists against Bishop Moore in an OT loss. Tyson Light from Lake Gibson had 25 points, 6 assists against Jenkins in a win. Antonio Wright had 21 points against Lake Gibson in the loss. And then in the Mosaic, we had Nehemiah Turner with 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 steals against Norland in a loss. And then lastly, we had Dylan James with 12 points, 22 rebounds, and 5 assists in the win against Tampa Catholic. A lot of great performances this week, Coach. What's your take or thoughts on that, sir?
Coach, I got a couple things. Coach Woodside texted me and said he had 23 rebounds, so I'm not going to short the kid. Coach Woodside said he got 23 rebounds. He got 23 rebounds.
Okay.
Coach, man, I had a conversation with Dylan James probably about a week ago, and we talked about, like a sense of urgency, especially senior year, going down the stretch. Coach, if he's going to be that dominant, especially on the defensive end, and 23 rebound, coach, is impressive. And having 23 rebounds on that particular team where, everybody rebounds. Isaac rebounds, JP rebounds, everybody rebounds on that team. But if he's going to play like that going down the stretch, I really like their chances into accomplishing the goals that they want to accomplish. I think overall, Coach, those are impressive stats from because we had a bunch of kids. Because you just read off a bunch of kids. You know what I'm saying? So that means that
watch your kids, Coach. Watch your kids.
People going out there putting in work, and that's impressive. Now, JCP girls, Coach, they beat them kids 102 to 6. Coach. 102 to 6.
Who got beat 102 to 6?
Coach, I saw. Look at PG. Coach, I saw when I said it. I saw how you look, but with the stats, you gotta mention it. But okay, once we mention it, 102-6. What we. Yeah, bro. A team got beat 102-6. George Christian Prep beat somebody 102-6, bro.
Coach, I'm not even
Hold
really
on,
mad.
man. Were they playing a sixth grade middle school team or something? Yeah, they playing. Who they playing even? What?
They played.
Coach,
They played Tampa Bay. Tampa
Y'all
Bay.
pranking me because I ain't been on the show? Are y'all pranking me because I ain't been on the show?
Oh man, man, crazy, bro.
Who would
Coach
you
Dog,
play that you gonna beat
we didn't get
102
that.
to 6?
We didn't get that. We didn't get that she hit 38, Coach. We know that the Cruz girl been killing it.
yeah, she been killing it.
We'll add it to it, but yeah, they played Tampa Bay Christian and they beat the people 102 to 30.
But Coach, I don't even have a problem with that, Coach. I don't have a problem with that. But nobody was in them comments calling them bullies. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that.
Yeah, I
You know
got
what I'm saying?
I got you.
Or classless or anything like that.
I got you.
That's the only reason I mentioned it.
Be consistent.
That's it.
Be consistent. You can't pick and choose when somebody gonna be a bully. You can everybody. If you're a bully, we all bullies.
We all bullies.
None of us bullies. I got you.
Yeah, it really wasn't about JCP or the score or whatever. Not at all.
Yeah, Coach Sanders, he jumped in already. Jumped in like he jump in. Just you never know when it's gonna happen.
What?
Live is unscripted, so you know.
There you go. PG.
Hey man, it's been a long weekend, man. I apologize.
Hey man, you know the people want to know what Tuma got to say, man. The people want to know, man. So me and Coach been trying to hold it. You know, we're trying to hold it in the road, man. But the people want to know what the PG got to say, man.
Bro, you the people's champ, bro.
Nah, man.
You the people's champ.
I might get me a shirt with that on then.
Hey man, but since you're old, man, I don't know if I know you've been busy. You're real busy, man. You had a great, great competition yesterday, man. Great thing for the kids, for the young ladies, for the community. Obviously, UTBS and and I got some, best interest because I'm with Made Mentor and I'm locked in with you.
Yes,
so
sir.
I know you've been at it. So I don't know if you got a Tuma's take or not. If you do, you got it. If not, then we'll keep it pushing.
Okay, I heard Billy D say something about I overheard you guys talking about the great tournament that just took place.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like it was one of the best ones we've had in a long time. But how do you come back off of losses? Like what do you game plan off of those losses moving into a district tournament? Like how do you prepare yourself coming off those type of losses as coaches?
So I'm gonna just let you know it goes into the practice plan. So now, those things that we fell short on in the game, we're implementing those things in practice. We're gonna recreate those situations and make sure that we practice those situations in practice, especially in the game situations. Usually, what I do is I take a team, another coach takes a team. We put a minute on the clock. Somebody's down 3, and we go at it. You know what I'm saying? We have all our timeouts. We go 1-1, and then we'll switch the teams. So not only do we practice being down 3, we practice being up 3. You know what I'm saying? So you got to put those kids in those situations in order for you to be prepared, not only for the kids, for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I failed, in this situation in this game, or I failed in this situation in practice. What could I have done, or what would I do next time this situation come around? So I think you got to prepare yourself, in practice for those game time situations.
How much does pride and ego factor into that though? How much does cause the thing on it is whether you are a female coach or a male coach, and we hate to say it, but we trying to help. We try to get as many teams to the White House. That's the old people say White House. The new people say RP Funding Center. We try to get as many people to the RP Funding Center as possible. And like Rank said a long time ago, sometimes you got to check your pride at the door.
Mm-hmm.
How much of that comes from pride from the coaching, from the bench? Not the kids going out there and executing what the coach say do, but from the sideline saying, I got it. You know, we didn't lose because of what they did. And you know what I'm saying? Like we don't acknowledge that this is what got us beat. And if we don't check it, it's gonna get us beat again. How much of that is ego and pride on the sideline, coach? And I know you're a coach and you're a current coach, so how much of that factors into it?
Coach, I think it goes into you as a person and where you're at in life. Sometimes we go through those stages where we hard headed and don't want to listen to nobody. And sometimes we go through those situations and the maturity level kicks in. But that's why it's also important, coach, for your assistant coaches to be involved and that it don't rely heavily on you, so they can remind like, hey, coach, in this situation last time, we did this and this worked well for us. Or in this situation last time, we tried this and this didn't work. But also, coach, I suggest this or I recommend this. Then it's on you what you do with it. But, coach, you got to check your pride at the door. You got to do anything necessary in order to put your kids and your team in a position to win. Coach, I didn't have any pride. Coach, I stole from everybody. I talked to everybody, and I still do. Like, a lot of people thinking I'm coming to watch games or I'm refereeing games, for Polk hoops or something like that. I'm actually coming there to steal y'all sets or get an idea to make my team better. So that's the reason why I watch basketball. I don't watch college and pro and high school basketball. I'm there to steal something, to try to be better. I've invited coaches into my practice, and they have shown us things that they do, and we, try to, make our team better. Yeah. Coach, I don't have no pride when it comes to stuff like that. I do whatever necessary in order to come in the side door of the White House, not the door where you pay. I'm not trying to go through that door. I'm not going through that door. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go in through the pass gate where they have our names on it, and we get in for free because we're playing.
And Coach, that's the thing, Coach. Like that, and that's all we trying to do right now. Whether however you take it. One thing about us at Polk Hoops, man, we trying to promote these kids. We trying to promote these programs. So the girls start on Thursday. We got 17. Man, we trying to get 17s at the White House. I don't know how many boys we're gonna have next year. The boys start this week. We're gonna talk about their teams in a second. We're trying to get the many boys teams possible. So iron sharpens iron. So if you are in a position that you can take something from somebody who has done it, who is doing it, who has been successful with it, sometimes, like you said, at some point, you got to check your pride at the door, man. Like, I'm going to do it my way. I don't care what they got to say. I don't care what they do. That's fine. You drive your own bus. But one thing you won't be able to say with us is, man, we ain't gave you everything we tried to do to try to help everybody to be successful. We want all these girls and all these guys to win. And if you know anything about us, as far as me, what I stand on, what Coach Ladie stand on, what Tuma stand on, man, we want all these kids to win. So, man, we got what 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3A. And girls, we want 5 representatives in the White House next week.
Coach, I'm gonna give you a great example of that. In 2012, Coach, in 5A, we was the number 1 team in the state, Coach. Number 1 team in the state. Coach Woodside gives me a call. We playing Tampa Prep, which was the number 1 team in 3A in the Mosaic, Coach. So this is at the end of the year. And his nephew is playing for Tampa Prep. And we talked, about what Tampa Prep does. He had played him earlier that year, things of that nature. He was like, hey, we tried to run this offense. It didn't work well for us. I don't have the athletes to do it, but I think it'll work well for you. I said, okay, Coach, how about you come to practice and install it? And you know what I'm saying? We'll go from there. Coach Woodside, I invited him to practice. Coach, he came into my practice, installed the offense, and we ran it against his nephew, Coach, at Tampa Prep, and we beat them, which that was their only loss for that season. They won the state championship. But we used that offense going into us winning the state championship. But like I said, I don't have no pride whatsoever. If somebody needs help and they call
Man, now,
me,
hey, you don't told on Woodside, man. How do you turkey? You just told on Woodside. How you gonna have some turkey at the dinner table for Thanksgiving, man? Whole family gonna be looking at this man crazy, man. How you cheat my son? How you do Woodside like that, man?
My bad, coach. Hey, that was
Well,
10 years
Woodside ain't
ago.
gonna get. Hey, listen, man.
Hey,
Woodside ain't gonna
That
get no
10 years
turkey.
ago.
no
Woodside
turkey,
ain't
no
gonna get no
dressing.
turkey.
Hey, no
11
dressing.
years ago.
Hey, man, no tater salad, no double egg. Nothing, man. You get the last of the last, man.
They gonna
Hey,
tell Woodside. They gonna tell Woodside to say a prayer and give him a slice of ham.
hey, the dry piece too, man. The piece that ain't even like the juicy piece. If it ain't juicy, you ain't want it, man. You get the dry piece, man. Hey, man, you start to get
Hey,
to the
Billy
steak.
D, that's a good question. I got you. Do you think these coaches now that we have in Polk County would do the same thing?
I can't answer that, coach.
Cap.
I can't answer. I know one that would do it. I do know one for sure.
Cap.
But
Oh, man.
I don't know, coach. I don't know what they're doing. So,
all right, man. Well, let's move. Coach Hagan say no with all caps. Like no.
is bad, bro.
Two prop. What is the thing? Before we do the boys district matchups for the week, why are we so daggone prideful on the boys side? I don't know about the girls side. We haven't covered girls as much, so I can't speak for the girls. So I'm not across the board. But the guys, I can speak with authority. Why are we so daggone prideful, coach? We all trying to do the same thing, because we all trying to win a state championship. We all trying to represent the county. We all trying to get to the White House. I don't call it RP Funding Center. Why is so much pride on something that can help you to get where you're trying to go? I don't get that, coach. And I mean, I'm Unc in the club now. I'm old school, as my guys that's coaching out tell me, coach, you Unc. It's different now. It ain't how you used to be when you coached us. So I understand that, and I respect that, and I totally receive it. But why is it so hard for you to receive something that can help you get to the level that you're trying to get to? I don't get it, coach. And maybe, and like I said, it's me, so I own it. It's me that I don't get it. But geez, how is it that hard to get?
I can't answer that because that wasn't me. That just wasn't me.
And I guess that's what Coach Higgins hit on the head. Is it a thing where, all right, Coach Higgins, even Coach Higgins. Okay, let's say Coach Higgins with track, even though we do basketball. All right, you over there, you killing it with track with Kathleen. Now you're at Winter Haven, killing it with track at Winter Haven. I want you to do well, but I want you to only do well to a certain point where you're not doing better than me or you're not doing too well. And I just don't get that, because like I say with us with Polk, man, we want everybody to win, bro. I don't care. We got 7, 8, all 7 teams all 7 regions that's represented in the girls. We want all 7 of y'all at the White House in 2 weeks. The boys this week, we know all the boys can't win because some of them in the same district. But we want as many boys teams in the White House in 2 weeks as possible. I've never had an issue with that. But once again, that's me now. That's me. And, with Polk I'm always about, and y'all the same way, we always about helping as many people as possible. But everybody don't think that way, Coach. Everybody does not. Everybody ain't on that. Everybody ain't on that, and you just gotta make a peace with it that everybody ain't on it. But I don't get it. And I guess that's one of the things I just never will get. And that's fine. But I get Coach Higgins, to your point, it just is low key envy. If I ain't gonna make it, I don't want you to make it. It's another term for that. It's crabs in the barrel. It's a crabs in the barrel mentality. I just hate it. That's where we at. But Coach Smith from Lakeland, yeah, I can rock with that too. There's a lot of fake love out there. Yeah, Coach Polite. That's the thing. Victory was good until they started. What? And that's Victory was good until they started beating people. So okay, hold on now. OCP was like you said, Coach. OCP was like this at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I them became like this. Hold on now. Y'all get a little too big now. Y'all might actually beat these people. Like, we want y'all to be good, but how good do we want y'all to be? Well, hey, y'all pretty good, but how good do we want y'all to be? Are we ready for multiple teams on the boys side and the girls side to be at the White House in 2 and 3 weeks? Are we ready for that? Serious question.
I mean, if you asking me, I think it's a great thing for the county. It just showcases our kids, showcasing that we can actually play basketball here. Everybody just they want to shine on us, coach. Like, we don't have good teams or good players here. We don't have good coaches here, and we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a point where we was getting multiple teams in, especially on the boys side, and it was at one point where multiple teams from the girls side was going. Because I know Winter Haven and Haines City used to go, a few of those years. But on the boys side, you used to have a couple of teams go. Like both times I went, well, one time I went was us in Winter Haven. You know what I'm saying? You can get multiple teams. I think it's great pub for the county. It's right here in the county. It's like a home game. Like
Coach,
I'm from Lake Wells, coach. You know what I'm saying? You know the Lake Wells Bartow rivalry. But if Bartow go, I'm supporting McGriff and his team in the city, in the county.
Once your team out, coach, okay, you fighting for your team. Once your team out, man, it's the county. That's what we supposed to be built on. At least that's what we is with Polk. And so how you feel about us, man? We rocking with whoever and whatever. We don't care for Oasis to daggone Winter Haven. We don't care. And it's just like, that's just not the energy that we get, coach. And it's like, why is that, man? We want everybody to win. Now, if you playing each other, that's different.
That's different.
Like Thursday, Lake Wells and Lake Region. Somebody got to lose. We hate that they line up against each other, but somebody got to lose. But the other teams that's not playing no Polk County team, man, we expect all 6 of them other, well, 5, I guess, 5 of them other Polk County girls teams to advance. That's what we rooting for. I don't care what they playing. I don't care if they 20, 30-point underdogs. We rooting for the county. That's what we do.
Like, so man, that's just what we here for. Like, McGriff don't ask me to go scout before. Okay, coach, no problem.
Man, come on, man. What we do? We just miss it, bro. We miss it. Anywho, let's go to the boys, man. The boys district. Okay, boys district up this week. We got a lot of teams. Everybody go to district. Everybody go to district. So we got 7A. We got Winter Haven, the 1 seed. We got Ridge versus Jenkins as the 5 seed. 3 is Durant versus Haines City, the 6 seed, and Plains City is the 2 seed. We feel pretty good about victory. I mean, Winter Haven. We feel pretty good about Winter Haven. Do we feel good about anybody else in that district? That's Polk County. Like I said, we don't care about nobody else. We're just talking about Polk County. And anybody watching this is not from Polk County. We Polk Hoops. We don't apologize for rocking with Polk Hoops or Polk County basketball. We don't. That's what we are. That's what we built on. We ain't trying to be Florida basketball. We ain't trying to be Central Florida basketball. We just about Polk County, about these kids, about these programs. So that's what we is, and that's what we're gonna be. So, do you see anybody besides Winter Haven making it out of that district?
No, coach. I don't see anybody but Winter Haven. The rest of the teams will have to win the district in order to get in.
And they're not going to beat Winter Haven. Okay. All right. 6A, 7. We got Lakeland, the 1 seed. We got St. Cloud versus Lake Gibson, the 5 seed. We got Kathleen, who moved to the 3 seed based off of them beating Lake Wells. They are 3 because they was the 4 seed for a while, for like 2-3 weeks. They moved to the 3 seed. They beat Lake Wells. So Kathleen's a 3 seed versus Liberty, and then Bartow's a 2 seed. How do you see the 6A district? Well, it's around there. At this point, Coach Jones, Sebring, Avon Park, and Lake Placid, they Polk County for us. We don't say surround there. We just we've adopted them, so they're with us now. So we in Avon Park, Avon Park, Lake Placid, and Sebring, they Polk County now. As far as Polk Counties go. But anyway, Coach, 6A. How you feel? How you think 6A gonna work out? 6A
So
7.
that's the most interesting one out of all of them. You know what I'm saying? Because the nature of those teams is too many rivalries. You know what I'm saying? The Lakeland Castleton rivalry. You know, Lakeland Bartow, Castleton Bartow. It it can go. It could be real interesting where we actually get multiple teams in. I really didn't think that at first. I only think we could get. Only thing Lakeland was going for a long time, but the way things shaping up, you probably gonna get. I hope we get at least 2 teams in, and I'm curious on how that district is gonna end up.
I think, and I'm insanely biased. I think Lakeland wins the district, but I think I think Bartow gets in, Coach. I think Bartow gets to the district championship. And I think the fact of them beating, even they lost to Berkeley Prep, lost to Windermere, and even they lose to Lakeland, those 3 games I think will get them in. Now, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I will put the disclaimer that I'm very biased with my take on it. But I think we get 2 teams out of 6A.
Yeah, but Lakeland the best team in that district.
But
I think they're playing the best basketball right now.
Lakeland is going to be hard to beat. And the thing is, they're the 1 seed. Everything is at Lakeland. And Lakeland is very hard to beat at home. Very hard. Okay. 5A10. Number 1 seed is St. Pete High. Number 4 is Braden River versus 5 Parish. Sebring is in that region, that district. Sebring is the 3 seed. They play Boca Ciega. The 2 seed is Southeast. Can Sebring win 5A10, Coach?
Coach, they can win it. I'm really looking for them to get to the championship game. Whether they win it or not, I think that increases their chances of getting in. So I like them making the playoffs, whether they win that district or not.
So you think they get in regardless of whether they win or not?
Yes.
That's the schedule.
Yes. Like I said, I think they got to make the championship game though. So they're gonna have to beat, maybe the 2 seed or whoever they end up playing in the semis.
And the thing is, and I don't know, I haven't looked at Sebring's schedule to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not that deep, but I don't know if they play Boca Ciega Southeast. But I think that Sebring can get to the championship game. I mean, they're a 3 seed, but I think they're a 3 seed based off of playing Polk County type talent, not the talent in their district.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that their district talent is as tough as Polk County teams that they've played. So I really like Sebring in that district. I mean, St. Pete gonna be a tough one because St. Pete pretty good. But I think they can get to the championship game. How that works when they get there, I don't know. But I think they can beat Boca Ciega, and I think they can beat Southeast. The chat is always,
of course, it's entertaining.
The chat is always entertaining. All right, 5A7. We got the 1 seed that is Orlando Jones, and the 2 seed. I mean, everybody else has to play each other. So the 4-5, the 4 game is Lake Region at Gateway. We got Arbordale, the 2 seed at Lake Buena Vista, and we got Davenport as a 3 seed at Lake Wells. So we got multiple Polk County teams in that district. The first thing that kind of jumps out at you is that the fact that Lake Region is a 4 seed with a 20-win season.
Yeah, their strength of schedule will hurt them. But at the same time, I'm not mad at Coach Simmons with that particular schedule because I think his kids gained a sense of confidence and relevance now that going into the district playoffs. Because you got to imagine, resurrecting a program, that probably didn't have the pride of the culture or winning culture. So now I think the whole mindset over there has changed, you know what I'm saying? And they got a reason to play for it, you know what I'm saying? Like every time I talk to him or see them online, they got something with JJ Edler on it. So I think that's motivating them in order to play. Interesting thing about them, Coach, they'll beat Gateway, but they'll play Jones in the semis. Jones haven't played nobody in our district at all. So
they can sneak up on Jones, Coach.
They can sneak up on Jones, exactly.
They can sneak up
on Jones. You know what I'm saying? And Lake Wells got to come to Davenport. I think that's going to be a huge game since the additions with Rosado coming back. I think that's going to be a huge game on Tuesday night.
Well, before we get to 5A, coach, I see where Polite, who is always, he got good credit with Polk. He joke around, but he know what he's talking about with basketball. He feels like Plant City is going to knock off Winter Haven in the district. So I don't want to skip over that. Does Plant City boys have a chance with Winter Haven boys in the district? Plant City is a very solid, good team. So that's not Plant City. They are very good. They well coached. They play well. But do they have a chance against Winter Haven?
I mean,
I guess you got a chance. You throw it up, you got a chance. But
yeah, you got a chance.
After that, do we really feel like Plant City can beat Winter Haven? I mean, they only beat when they went 10. They only won by 10 when they played in the regular season, so they didn't like drag them. So it was competitive.
I don't think they beat Winter Haven at home, which that's where they have to come and play them at. I don't see that happening, but I do see Plant City getting in the playoffs though. But we was talking about Polk County teams earlier, so that's why I didn't mention them.
Yeah, okay.
As far as that district goes, but I do see them getting into the playoffs.
So I wanted to make sure. I just thought I didn't want to run past that. So does Lake Wells, coach, the new Lake Wells? So this ain't the old Lake Wells. This ain't Lake Wells that was getting drugged by people first semester. They got guys back since the semester. They got football players. So this is a whole different team than what we saw them first like 12, 14 games. Can Lake Wells, especially with Rosado, who can go get you 30 or 40, I mean, he a walking bucket. Outside of LJ, Rosado might be the best scoring person in the entire county. Can Lake Wells sneak up and win that district? So they're not the same Lake Wells, because they are a 6 seed? They are a 6 seed, coach. They might be the scariest 6 seed in the state. I mean, who they gonna line up on Tuesday, whatever they play?
Coach, they just played a Leesburg team that's in their region that's gonna be in the playoffs, right? And they just beat them in overtime.
And they knocked them off.
Coach, this team is scary right now. This team is real scary. Coach, they have a chance to win the district. And I think that can drive them in order to do it, because that's the only way they can get in. That's the only way they can get in is by winning the district.
Coach, I really think Lake Wells, and no disrespect to Jones, Armandale, Lake Region, nobody else in that district, Lake Region. I really think that Lake Wells can win that district, Coach. Coach, when you got a guy that can give you 40, and I just looked at the stats when they just beat Leesburg. So that says, first of all, since they done got their guys back, they done knocked off Leesburg, and they knocked off St. Martin County, who won state.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do think, Coach, that Lake Wells can win that district. I'm not saying they will.
No.
But when you got Rosado who can give you 40, he is there. You get caught up in how little he is, because that kid can just give you buckets. And then they got other kids that can rebound the ball, that can scrap. They got some football. They not the same team that lost. I think people get caught up in the fact that they was 3-11 before they got them guys back, Coach. Yeah. They not the same team. That's a whole different team that you line up right now.
Coach, I'm gonna give you a scenario. Like right now, going into district play, I think 3 teams would get in that particular regional playoffs, which would be Jones, Armandale, and Davenport. Davenport was the 6th seed before going into the district playoffs, right? State Lake Wells win it. Coach, one of those teams not going. Coach.
Coach, I really, nothing against Coach E, nothing against Coach Wood, Coach Shea. I just really like Lake Wells. Coach,
so just imagine if Lake Region mess around and go in there and win it. Like one of those teams get knocked out. Coach, that particular district is very interesting, and anything can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Anything
can happen.
Anything can happen, Coach.
You know what I'm saying? But shout out to them. You know, like I said, Armandale has been strong. I think the game, this past week, they had a strong showing, so I think they'll be prepared. I think as far as the county goes, they're probably the best team in that district from the county, but anything can happen right now in that district, coach. Anybody can get beat.
If Coach E is finally getting Turner to play to his level, he had 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists Saturday against New Orleans. If he has finally tapped into Turner's potential, because I mean 6'9", 3. Turner is the most physically imposing guy in the daggone entire county. He's 6'9", 300. I mean, not playing around. He not fudging stats. He's 6'9", 300. So if coach has finally gotten him to play at the level he's capable of playing at, and then he got KK and all the other guys to kind of, fill it in. He got a good shot, but Lake Wells, boy, they are so scary because that is just not even the whole team. They're not even the whole team, bro. That's not even the team that they played the first 12, 14 games. It's a whole different team. And like you said, Rosado good for 30, coach. That's low balling Rosado, coach. 30 is like you just low balling him. So he 30 to 40. It's a whole different team, coach. So Lake Wells is so scary. So if Lake Wells win the district, coach, does Arbondale and Lake Region get in the district?
No.
And Davenport
Arbondale will get in. But I don't know about the other two. I don't think the other two will get in.
So if Lake Wells win, you think Arbondale in regardless, but
yes.
Lake Region Davenport is a wrap.
Yes.
It's shirts to the short, shirts to the left, shorts to the right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're moving on. PG, you in? We jumping in with the district matchups. 4-8-11. 4-8-11. We got Lake Placid is a number 1 seed. We got Avon Park, the 4 versus Bayshore, the 5. DeSoto is the 3. Hardy is the 6. And Booker is the 2nd. Is there any way that Lake Placid or Avon Park do not make it? I guess they got to play each other. They got to play each other. So, man, how you get on late, man, and get with the black screen late. How we get the black screen late, man? Oh man, yeah, Higgins, he got on just to get the black screen.
Coach.
How we get the black screen?
Coach, man, I'm not familiar with everybody in that district, but the teams that cover. But
Hey,
Lake
man.
Placid has been consistent all year. I only think they're gonna get one team in. So whoever win that district is the one that's gonna get in.
Oh man, so we got one team. All right, let's go, man. What we got? We got Lake Placid, Avon Park, and we got Hardy in that district, man. One of y'all, man. All right, we're moving on to 4-8-7. Oh man, that dude is comedy. All right, we got Lake Highland Prep, which is the 1 seed in that district in 4-8-7. We got 4 seed Discovery versus 5 seed Tiller Rock. We got a 3 seed McKeel versus the 6 seed Mulberry and 2 Bishop Moore. Can we get anybody from Polk County out of 4A District 7?
Who's the number 1 team in there?
That dude that went black screen again. Lake Island Prep.
Coach, I don't see it. I don't see it, Coach.
Man, Discovery just picked up a big win Saturday, man. The most said, man. They just knocked out Clearwater. That don't matter.
Yeah, nah, they will have to win the district.
Oh man. So we in bad shape with 4-8-7.
Yes, sir.
Oh man. All right. Moving on to 3A-7. The 1 seed is Bell Creek. They got 8 teams in this district, so everybody so there's no bias in 3A-7. 1 Bell Creek versus New Dimensions, 8 seed. 4 seed is Frostproof versus Lakeland Christian, 5 seed. 3 seed, 7 Christian versus Fort Meade, 6 seed. And the 2 seed is Santa Fe versus Four Corners, the 7 seed. Do we have anybody in 3A7 that we think we can get in?
Santa Fe get in.
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe get in?
Yeah,
But I'm very interested in Santa Fe Bear Creek in the championship game. We talked about it preseason and kind of predicted that, but that's gonna be a great game.
Cause Bear Creek got a real good young kid, right?
Yeah, you're a freshman.
A freshman kid. But I think Santa Fe can knock them people off though. I mean,
think so too.
Based off what they done played, I think Santa Fe can knock them people off.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. But those are two teams that we talked about even in the preseason. So I expect those teams to meet in the championship game.
We should knock off. I keep saying we. I don't. Cause like I said, at this point, we don't even try to fake that we pro county. So when we say we say Polk County. We don't even. No disrespect to the out of county team. We don't care about out of county teams, but so we feel like we can knock off Bear Creek though. We know we can feel we knock off Southern Christian. Can Fort Meade that's the best year they had in a long time. Can Fort Meade knock off Southern Christian?
I don't think so.
Okay. So we feel like it's gonna be Santa Fe against Southern Christian, but Santa Fe knock off Southern Christian.
Yeah.
Santa Fe is 2 seasons, so it'll be in Lakeland. So they ain't gonna beat Santa Fe in Lakeland.
No.
Can Santa Fe deal with the freshman kid from Bear Creek?
That's what they're paying the coach for. Coach, man. Coach, after that kid a phenom.
He tough though,
coach. And he jumps out the gym.
Yeah, he tough. That freshman Bear Creek, he tough. He real deal. He ain't just.
What they say? Where's Bear Creek at?
Riverview.
Bear Creek.
The kid came to our trials last year for Tony Bradley. That's how we got to know who he is. And the kid can flat out go, coach.
Yeah, that kid can play. That kid can play. Victory got some guys that can go too now, so that's gonna be a good one. I think Victory, Santa Fe.
Yeah, definitely. The way Santa Fe shoots the ball is gonna keep them in ball games or shoot them out of ball games. But I expect that one to be a good game. It's gonna go down to the wire.
And the fact that Santa Fe done play some people that's either as good as Bear Creek or better than Bear Creek, I think got them in good shape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The thing about Winter Haven, Santa Fe, Victory, Lakeland, who else I want to name? Bartow, I guess. Them 5. Now, I don't want to leave nobody out, but them 5 just immediately come to mind. Them people have scheduled this year probably better than we used to schedule them than we are used to scheduling people. We don't normally schedule people like those got them 4 or 5 guys that have scheduled. And so the fact that they playing people in the district and the regional and the tournament and the championship and the playoffs is not going to be a big thing because they have played people in the regular season. So the fact that Santa Fe might end up lining up against Bear Creek, even if the freshman is a phenom, they done played some other phenoms. So they gonna be like, oh man, it's the first time we done played a phenom. What we gonna do? Yeah, we done played some phenoms. So we it's just the next one we done played, not that this the first one we done played. And I think that makes a whole big difference.
Santa Fe is prepared as far as that goes.
Very prepared, yes, sir. Too, I see Black and Polite in the chat saying you got a silk shirt on. All right, last we got 2A. We got 2A. The 1 seed is Victory, and then the 4-5 game is so Victory got to buy. The 4-5 game is All Saints versus Morehaven. The 2 seed is Legacy, and the 3 seed is City of Life. There is no way that we see that Victory, especially on Saturday, they just knocked off Olympia. There's no way that Victory doesn't win at this championship, right?
No way, coach. No way.
Now, at the beginning of the year, we were just like, ain't no way in the world they're going to beat OCP. Are we ready to revisit that off of what they done did as far as how they look with OCP now? That they done knocked off some people? They done knocked off some multiple people that's like state certified. So is Victory state certified now?
It depends on what the game is.
It'll be at OCP.
If it's at OCP,
that that guy turned his screen off. I wasn't even looking, Coach. I'm trying to look at these games. I got all these games in. This guy turned his screen off, man. So are we saying that Victory cannot go into OCP and beat OCP? Is that what we're saying?
I think they can play against them. I think if they was at Victory, I would definitely be like saying it's possible.
How big is the fact that they just not? Let's ask this a two-part question. Do we feel like Olympia is better than OCP? And if so, how big is the Olympia victory Saturday?
That was a huge victory. Congrats to Victory, bro. But it's the mosaic. It's Polk County. It's the physical play.
And the thing is, you know, the referees are gonna be from neutral counties, so they're not gonna have, you know, nobody from Orlando, nobody from Polk. So you just never know, you know, where those refs are coming from. They probably come from like the Cocoa area, maybe Tampa or somewhere down south. So, so that's gonna play, you know, a huge impact on that game. But I think the gap is closed, Coach. Gap is closed. They have a chance.
Yeah, they got a chance. I said they're gonna play them well, but I mean, I still don't believe they can beat them at OCP.
Yeah, OCP ranked number 6 in the state right now, so that'll give them the number 1 seed in that region.
Oh yeah,
I love OCP. I mean, I love not OCP. I love Victory. And once again, I'm biased, and I own that. But the fact that how they just beat Victory, not Victory, Olympia Saturday, and they held Jizzle to 13 points. First of all, shout out to Coach Woodside. I mean, not Coach Woodside, Coach Fitzgerald. You said earlier about him getting the 500 win. But, Coach, that's tough.
Don't say that too loud.
Don't say what too loud. The 500 victories? Yeah, because, you know, what the guy say? 2 James? It might not be 2 James. It's a problem when they do it. It's fine when they do it, but it's a problem when we do it. I'm probably saying the wrong lyrics. I'm not a rap guy. But
definitely saying the wrong lyrics.
Hey, what is it?
When they do it.
It's a problem when they do it. It's good. It's a problem when we do it, but it's fine when they do it. What am I saying, bro? You're a rap guy. What am I saying it right?
Yeah, you ain't saying it right, bro.
Yeah, I ain't saying it right. I ain't a rap guy. I'm an R&B guy, and I own that. But the fact that Victory knocked off Olympia, bro, and Olympia,
the gap is definitely closed because they got 2 films they can watch on them guys that can help them if the coaches give them the film.
Well, we know how the film go.
Like, why is that a question though? Like, Coach Fitzgerald, go ahead and request the film. Like,
let us know who don't give it to you.
To your point, Coach, you are a current coach. Why is that a question? Why is that an issue about film?
I don't know why, but I think it goes back to, you know, that pride thing and ego thing and that envy thing that y'all was talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wish them well, but you really don't wish them well. You don't want them doing better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has nothing to do with anybody else. You don't have to play Victory to get to the White House. So why not help them out by giving them the film? Like, why is that a question? Why do we have to question that?
Why do we have to question? That's my thing, Coach. Is it Antoine Ingram? Yeah, I got it wrong. I'm not a rap guy. I'm an R&B guy. I don't apologize for that. So I probably got the lyrics wrong. But why is it an issue? Once again, at this point, we done. I ain't gonna never see you again. You ain't gonna never see me again. So why do we have a problem? Once again, it's Polk County now. Why do I have a problem with sharing the film? Why do I have a problem sharing the film? Okay, Latoya, Taylor, Boswell, it's a problem. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. There you go. I got it now. I got it. But it's just like, why is that an issue, man? Like I say, with the girls up this week. The girls playoffs this week. Everybody but 17 done put their jersey to the left, shorts to the right. So the 7 that's still left, man, let's do all we can to get them 7. Now, it can't be 7 girls because I know in 4A it's 2 girls, 2 teams, and 5A I think it's 2 teams. But so the most we can get is 5 teams. Why can't we do everything we can to get 5 girls teams at the White House? Same thing with boys. Next week we'll know when they do the release show how many boys make it in. But we do it with girls right now. We know it's 7 girls right now. Why can't we do everything we can to get 5 girls? Yeah, Black. I got it wrong, Black. Black. I'm not a rap guy. I'm an R&B guy, and I'm old school, so I kind of miss it sometimes. Why can't we get 5 girls? Do all we can to get 5 girls to the White House? You know, I had somebody inbox me that the Ledger, and I don't talk about the Ledger much, but the Ledger kind of publicized Winter Haven beating Tampa Catholic. They never said that Victory beat Tampa Catholic. So it's like we don't have multiple Polk County teams that have knocked off some of these state power teams this year. So we've had a great year with Polk County basketball as far as how we performed against the rest of the county. So why is it that we can't have that same type of energy and acknowledgement when it's time for us to, get it, I guess. I don't know. Y'all probably got a better take on it than I do.
I can't even answer that because we beating the dead horse.
Yeah, for real. I can't answer that one.
Okay. All right. Well, the last thing we're gonna do before we get off, we'll do our top 10 because I know Coach Juice Simmons on here for the top 10. We'll do the 11 on the page tomorrow. We'll do the top 10 and we'll be done. Obviously, we got number 1 is Winter Haven. Winter Haven had a great week, three game wins, against OCP, The Rock, and Tampa Catholic. So they are undisputed number 1. Now, it becomes a little tricky with number 2. Right now, we got Lakeland at 2. But they 21-4 and they lost to OCP. Victory, we got at 3, which is 20-5. But Victory beat Olympia. We got 4 JCP. We got 4 Lake Region. We got 5 JCP, 6 Arbondale, 7 Santa Fe, 8 Bartow, 9 Davenport, 10 Sebring. So I guess the big question is, do we flip Lakeland and Victory based off of what happened at the Mosaic?
I say no, because Lakeland beat them head to head.
I say yeah.
So we got a no, we got a yeah.
You the deciding factor, Coach.
And that's what I'm saying. I try to stay out of it, and now I'm in it.
Lakeland beat them head to head. That's my deciding factor. You know what I'm saying? They actually played against each other. Lakeland record is better, even though it's only by 1 more game. Now, Victory win against Olympia was definitely impressive. And they don't beat other teams too. Calvary Christian, Tampa Catholic. They don't beat some teams now.
We don't have this discussion earlier, so ain't no moving up and down.
So
yeah, like you said, at the end of the day, Lakeland beat them.
Lakeland number 3. I think Lakeland number 3 after they just lost. I mean, it ain't a bad loss.
No,
but our system is kind of weird for me, to be honest with you. If we're looking at it like that, because we see it happen Monday through Saturday. Number 1 teams getting knocked off. But I get it because Winter Haven on lost games and we didn't move them out of number 1.
Agreed. Like I said, Lakeland went to Victory and beat them. So, like I said, I say no. Tuma said yes.
I say yeah. I say yeah because I look at this week.
So so Polk Hoops is the deciding factor for the first time all season. Y'all guys been agreeing with each other all year to the day. Yeah. So now I got to step in and
he hit me with a curveball on that.
Yeah, y'all with the BS. So anyway, so we'll I guess the final the decide fact will be the strength of schedule. So we'll look at strength of schedule, and when we post it tomorrow,
the schedule. Don't Victor have a stronger schedule?
Victor probably would have a strength of schedule, yeah. So if you go off that strength of schedule, then Victor would be good. So yeah, I'll post it tomorrow.
It's a tough one.
That's definitely a tough one. So we'll go out strength of schedule. So Victor got a stronger strength of schedule than Lakeland does. And if we're going off of that, then Victor will be 2, and then Lakeland will be 3. But the Lakeland folks will probably shut the page down once we post it tomorrow. And we'll post Coach Simmons, Coach Drew Simmons, and Rex. We'll post 11 to 25 tomorrow also, because I know that's what y'all be waiting for. But based off the strength schedule, then Victor got to go to 2. Lakeland got to drop to 3 because Victor won and Lakeland lost. I mean, that's just how we do rankings, you know. Lakeland folks, y'all gonna probably be mad, but hey, it is what it is. So, all right, so that's it for tonight, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. We got the girls lined up for this Thursday. We got 7 teams in. We so excited for the 7 girls that's in. We sure hate that Lakeland Juice. We got to do it, Juice. We sure hate that Lakeland and Lakeland West, Lake Region got to play each other. He gonna report the page Lakeland number 2. Lakeland beat Victory, but if we going off of this weekend, you know, every week to week, Coach Hagan it changed, and Lakeland lost, and Victory won. Victory lost. Victory beat the what Olympia, like number 2 in the state. Victory beat number 2 team overall in the state.
They don't move up.
They got to carry some weight. We can't just.
They don't move up.
Yeah, we can't. We can't ignore that. You know, we can't ignore that. I mean, Lakeland did.
What?
My questionability, you beat the number 2 team in the state and you don't move at all?
I didn't say that. You asked me my opinion. And that's like I said, head to head, they went in there and beat them guys. You know what I'm saying? I think that carries weight too.
There's a lot of
whatever you want to. Head to head, they beat them guys.
I do know
that whole weight with me.
I do know went to the black screen.
Whatever, bro. But head to head, they went in there and beat them guys.
Juice, you got a
victory.
Juice,
the win is impressive.
Yeah. Juice, we got to get you in the studio, man. We got to get you in, especially talking about 11 to 25. We got to get you in probably next week. I don't know how your schedule look. Polite, you said we need to be drug tested because we put Lakeland ahead of Victory, or because we put Victory ahead of Lakeland. Which one are you saying? I'm confused.
Hey, they don't need to be drug tested. I like Victory to move up. They beat the number 2 team in the state. Billy D need to be checked for them drugs.
Okay, what?
Yeah, I'm just I'm trying to see what Rich, because you know Rich got good credit with us, so I'm trying to see what he's saying. He said we need to be drug tested. What we need to be drug tested for? We try. How we saying Victory 2?
Bartow number 2.
I mean, Victory beat the number 2 team in the state. That team only lost 2 teams all year long. They lost to Woodhaven. They lost to Victory. That was the 2 teams in the entire state of Florida. If Lakeland beats Olympia, we'll be staying White House bound. But Lakeland didn't play Olympia though. They played OCP and they lost. I mean, they played one of the top 10 teams in the state and they lost. Victory played one of the top 5 teams in the state and they won. We can't ignore that, right? Victory win, they bring up the refs bench for Polk. I mean, if we really want to talk about the refs, can we not talk about the refs every game? I mean, not just spreading what you're saying, but can we not talk about the refs every game? I mean, Victory beat the number, what was Victory? Olympia 2 in the state. They beat the number 2 team in the state this week. The only loss they had was to Woodhaven. Lakeland lost to like OCP was like number 5 or 6 in the state.
They're number 6.
6 in the state, and they lost. I mean, they lost the overtime, but they lost. Lakeland lost. Victory won. We can't ignore the fact that Victory will beat a top 5-6 team, and Lakeland lost to a top 5-6 team. Now, I understand that Lakeland
Yeah, I'm with Rex. Victory is clearly
Yeah,
number two.
I think Victory. I think it'd be in order for Victory not to be number 2.
Hey,
That would
Rex,
be
me and you on the same page, man. Victory clearly
yeah,
number two.
yeah. I mean, Lake should have beat them head to head, but I mean, Victory. You know, the rankings change every week. The rankings change every week, and the fact those people knocked out Olympia, but we can't ignore that. That's a huge win for Victory, man. It's a huge win for Victory. So anyway, we'll post it tomorrow. So I think we're gonna have Victory at 2, Lakeland at 3. Thinking people gonna probably shut the page down, you know, and I get it, but I mean, y'all lost, and Victory won. It is what it is. So to the young ladies that are up this week on Thursday, to Winter Haven, Lake Gibson, Lake Wells, Lake Region, Lake Wells got to play each other. Discovery, Sebring, and Discoveries, and who else I'm missing? I'm missing one. Avon Park. Good luck, ladies, this week. Y'all still practicing. Y'all still don't have to, you know, it ain't jersey to the left, short to the right yet. So good luck to everybody. I know that we'll still have 5 teams left. Hopefully we have 5 teams left by Thursday night at about 10 o'clock. To the guys that are, you know, season 2, hopefully everybody is in a position to be ready to be ready to play and get your team to the next level. Good luck to everybody with the second season. Appreciate y'all rocking with us here at Pro Coops, man. We do not appreciate it. I mean, we do not take it for granted. We do appreciate it. We don't take it for granted, man. Thank y'all for rocking with us every week that y'all don't have to do that. Thank y'all for tonight. Yeah, man. Coach Juice, you guys preach that every week, man. So we post 11 to 25 next week. You'll see some movement that happened based off of, you know, what happened this past week. But good luck to everybody. We'll post the girls' schedules tomorrow. We'll post the top 10, top 25, and we'll post the district lineups as well. So y'all be safe, man. Thank y'all for rocking with us, man. Until next time, Polk Hoops, we are out. Y'all be safe this week, man. Thank y'all. Be safe.